Welcome to Slayerfest 98. My name is Xana, and I'm from Canada's Drag Race Season 5.
Hi, I'm Angela Rockstar.
Hello, I'm Alastair Patton Garcia.
And I'm Ian Carlos Crawford, and today we are here to talk Angel Season 4, Episode 3, The House Always Wins. We love a Lauren episode. We don't get many Lauren. I think this is maybe the only, full Lauren episode. What did we all think revisiting this episode? Xana, I'm curious what you thought.
It's perfect. I have no complaints. Everything was great.
Angela?
I also really enjoy this episode. I like when, the cast leaves and go, I like that they go to Vegas. I think it's fun. I'm going to Vegas soon, so that was exciting for me. I like the episode. I love Lauren.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
Alastair?
Like Angela, I love this episode, and I love when they travel in shows, like in Buffy, whenever they got in the RV, I just wanted that to be like a whole episode of them just like traveling around.
Yeah.
And I love even in reality shows when they do that. I kept on thinking of Vanderpump, the Golden Nugget and stuff while I was watching this one. But and also it's kind of a slice of life episode, and I feel like we don't get that with newer TV as much because they don't have the 22 episode space to fill. So it's nice that we had that and we could actually like have a little bit of a slice of life episode.
I agree with what everyone said. And also, Alastair, to your point, especially this season of Angel does not get a lot of we're like just having fun episodes.
Yeah.
It's like everything's terrible. It's getting worse. No one's having fun. And so this was a nice little fun episode before we get to all the serious shit. I also like when they do this on shows because also it was clear that they were in Vegas for shooting this.
Yes.
And it's fun seeing these type of characters in not just a random street or a random building. It's this is a place. And I like that.
It happens a lot where it's always filmed in my city. When it's New York, it's LA, it's something very specific. And I'm like, no, I live around the corner from that. That's clearly not Seattle. Yeah, it's very fun.
That was Scream 6 when they're in New York. And every time they're on the street, you see trees. And I'm like, this is very obviously not New York. There are no trees.
They filmed it in Montreal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything's French. It's definitely not New York.
And I remember you're in Vancouver, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my other co-hosts being like, oh, anytime I watch an action movie, I'm like, oh, that's where Batman threw Joker off the building. That's where this guy got killed. And so that's always in his city. This episode, they're going to find Lauren. It's cute. We open on Connor again. Angel's observing him. Yeah, I like the idea of Angel's watching him giving commentary and Cordelia's watching him watching Connor. Even with how this episode ends, even with we're recording out of order. Alice and I recorded yesterday for a different episode. I'm still unclear about because when she comes back and she doesn't, I don't this point of view is a little confusing to me story wise.
Well, also when she was saying, and he's got those, tall, dark, and handsome looks and broody, comparing them. And I was like, no, stop, stop.
No, don't think that about him. But I'm just right, Alastair, because we discussed this, and I don't quite understand. This is really Cordelia, but then I
don't know if we're ever going to get a true answer. I think the Cordelia in the sky is Cordelia.
Yeah,
but I don't think we're ever going to get a very accurate answer in terms of where Cordelia became Jasmine, or at least a Cordelia controlled by Jasmine,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like when they explain it away, being like, oh yeah, we made you a higher power so we can allow Jasmine inside of you. I feel like that was kind of as soon as she ascended, she was always in there, but it wasn't she hadn't truly taken over completely, but she was in the back of her brain. So I wouldn't be surprised if they were this was the beginning of that kind of story,
Because Jasmine was a higher power too, right? And it was kind of she hitched the ride with Cordelia.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I always interpreted it, was Jasmine's energy sucked her wherever and then kind of infused and then sent her back.
It's just a little I don't know.
A Cordelia Jasmine cocktail.
Sure, yeah.
A jasmine infused Cordelia.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no, not that.
Alastair, that does sound like a cocktail you would make me, that you'd be like, oh, Ian, I got this new
Now
thing.
I want to make that cocktail.
So, yeah, we see that she like she's watching, she can view what's going on. She wants to get out of there. And like Angel there are 2 times in this episode, right, where he does like, not that he can hear her fully, but like he senses her, right?
Yeah.
Like when she's like yelling, help me, and his head kind of picks up, like that's like him being like, He just watches Connor. He's like, oh, he should be doing this. He should fight like
And
this.
he helps him cheat.
Oh, right. He throws the block.
I was like, no, it gave like him watching his son play like football and he's on the bleachers and he's like screaming for him to do something like that. It was just him cheating. I was like, let him kill the vampires. If you kicked him out of the house, let him be on his own. Like, what are you doing now?
That is true. And we like get the like fake out of like, he's like, I know you're watching me, but he's not talking to Cordelia. He's talking to Fred and Gunn. He pretty quickly is just like, okay, let's go on a vacation. I'm like, okay.
Let's get out of here.
We need to get out of town.
Yeah, I like that it's like, it's just like, yeah, they're going to go somewhere and then we're driving to Vegas. Sure, why not? Post credits, we see them driving into Vegas. They're in Angel's car, which I feel like we don't see a lot after this season, but I like that car.
Nice car.
And I always feel like it's like a good like shot of like them in a convertible driving around. I like whenever we can mention that Angel was around for like old celebrities.
Yes.
I like that. I think they could have done more with that, right? Like that's like fun.
It's my favorite thing about vampires is that they can have this long lineage and know so many, go through different time periods and be able to say stuff like that. And I think that they get really cheeky with it. And I think that's fun. And I definitely agree they could have taken that even further.
Yeah.
When they touch on like when they're actually in the casino watching Lauren and they talk about how the Blue Man Group are like demons and Angel just has that kind of information. He's like, oh yeah, like 2 of them are. Like, it's just so offhanded. Like, he's always known. It was just never brought up. Very reminiscent to Anya being like, oh yeah, Santa was a demon too. Yeah. Martha Stewart conjured wishcraft to like do what she was doing. It's just like all those little moments of just like real life things that we know of that they're just like, yeah, of course this is evil. Like, even just straight down to like the casino being controlled by people who are like selling to the spiritual black market. It's just like that. It's just all tying in such a fun way that I wish we got more of that information from like Angel being like, yeah, I loved when Vegas was run by the mob. It was so much friendlier. Yeah. Just like those casual lines. It's just like, oh, he has existed for so much of like American history, at least. Yeah. He's experienced it all in such a weird way.
Yeah. And it's
nice having that comparison.
Yeah.
And I also think like even the thought process of how are we going to use Lauren to make money and brokering people's fates is really cool for them to explore.
I didn't remember, like I remembered this episode. I don't remember all the episodes of Angel, but I remembered this one. I didn't remember that was what I was like, I know he's trapped in Vegas. I just didn't remember.
I feel like there's a couple episodes that are in gambling houses that blend together for me a little bit.
Yeah, there's, what is it, season 2 or 3 where they're
I think it was 2.
Yeah.
I remember watching this episode when it aired and I was quite a bit younger and I remember feeling like, wow, did Lauren get too big for them? Like what happened? I remember like actually feeling that when they were, hey.
I remember this episode, I was like, did that actor quit the show? Like, I hope he didn't quit. And this is like his last episode. They're like going to see him and he's like, no, I don't want to hang out with you guys anymore.
Right.
We get the like gag of Angel being like, oh, he couldn't be performing the Tropicana. That's too big of a casino. It's got to be something more discreet. And then they pull up to like a giant fucking Lauren billboard. I love that. And I do think it's clever for them to be like, oh yeah, people just think it's makeup because people would, right?
Vegas,
like, yeah. Alastair, you've been a few times, right?
Yeah, I've been a couple times and yeah, I mean, it's a gimmick, right? So like it's Vegas, and it's like, hey, you see this demon perform,
right? I could see that being like a show,
which is funny because I looked up Andy Hallett a little bit before this just to refresh on it, and it's interesting. He never started singing until he went to a Patti LuPone concert in Boston, and she asked him to come on stage, and he sang for the first time, and she complimented him, and then he started singing.
That's Wild.
Right? Isn't that wild?
Like your first time is Patti LuPone, and then she's like, "Oh, you're a good singer." Like,
Yeah.
that's gotta be a big ego boost. My fun Patti LuPone story is I didn't know who she was when I was younger, aside from her being on Will and Grace. And I thought she was a made up celebrity on Will and Grace until I moved to New York. And like one of my first year there was this like very like infamous trashy gay bar called Splash that was like 2 stories, always smelled like bleach, but it was like very famous. And they used to have like musical Mondays, and I hated going, but my friends liked going because I'm not a musical gal. And Patti LuPone was a surprise performer, and I literally was like, "Oh, that's the lady from that Will and Grace episode." And everyone was like, "What?" Because like that was all I knew her from, and everyone was very excited. So yes, they go to his show. I do like seeing Fred. She's so excited about it. Like Angela, that would be
Gunn
you.
is excited,
I
but he's like,
would.
I can't show my excitement, so he just like dances side to
Yeah.
side.
I feel like Angel's the only one that's like about it.
He's like, I went to Elvis and Priscilla's wedding. This is
Yeah,
nothing.
this is nothing to me. He does like a slower song, and then he goes into Lady Marmalade, which I like.
He sang "If I Were Green."
Is that
Kermit's
Yeah.
infamous song. It's
Okay.
perfect. They put so much effort into what Lauren's Vegas show would be that they've actually created something that I'd be like, no, I would pay to go and see this. This is something that I would attend often.
I would pay to go see
I
it.
would
honestly.
have seen it. Sure.
like even if it, like the premise is like someone pretending to be a demon, and there's like a show within a show where he's like a demon singing, I would be sold on that. I'd be like, that's cool, sure.
Also, like the timing of like Lady Marmalade as well. It's like that was fresh. Like it didn't like I obviously wasn't very coherent when all of that was originally happening, so I can't speak to how actual like
That's Xana calling us
how
all
much
old.
buzz it was. But like I know for now, people still want that
Oh, yeah.
done. Like
Yeah.
it's been good. So like the fact that they got him to do that immediately was just kind of like they really invested a lot into that, especially just like his backup dancers looking the way
So
that they
cute.
did.
Yeah, I was like, what was the budget on this episode? Because that feels like a lot of like, and they're just like in the background, but there's like a bunch of them. So yeah,
It might have been one of those things where it was a paid. We just saw a paid sponsorship where Vegas was like, "Yeah, just promote our thing."
true.
I could
wow,
see
that's cool.
Vegas doing that because they did drop a lot of Vegas names while they were there, and maybe
They
to get
did.
people to travel. But I'm trying to think, Lady Marmalade, because the Pop Divas did that one big music video, and I can't remember if it was like 2003 or 2002.
I was
But it
still
was-
in high school, so I think it would have been like 2001 or 2000,
Yeah,
Mhm.
but it was still around that like era. Like it still would have
Yeah.
been like,
so it was pretty fresh, I think.
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. I was thinking about that with Tropicana because they specify Trop, and that's like a real casino. So I was wondering that too, Alastair. I'm like, because in my head I was like, but wouldn't a hotel not want to be? Oh,
Right,
we
they
stole...
talk about the golden nugget too.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
several
but-
different.
But then I was like, no, I think Vegas casinos would be like, yeah, cool. Say that we captured a demon. It didn't look like a set, right? None of that shit looked like.
No, they use the entire. Then when they exit the casino and go to like the Glitter Gulch, which is like miles away from the real Tropicana, they just kind of put it real close for story. But like, yeah, it was the real one, and then because that's a time capsule because it doesn't exist anymore.
Oh,
Wait, really?
wow.
Yeah, they demolished it in 2024.
Oh.
Wow.
Huh. Huh.
So we should have gone a couple years ago. Damn it. Just one quick thing. So I think Zach would have actually really liked this episode just because I think it does draws parallels with Lauren's situation and like Elvis, because he was kind of trapped in his contract and everything in Vegas.
Alastair,
and other ones.
I was
Like
going
Bruno
to have
Mars,
you.
like Bruno Mars is currently trapped. So, like,
I was gonna say Bruno, yeah, right now.
yeah.
Alastair, I actually was going to have your husband on for this episode because we bargained for him to come back to do more episodes if I gave him the Faith episodes. And he was like, but like make them fun episodes. And I was like, okay, if he can do this first round, it was going to be this episode or Spin the Bottle that I was going to have him on for. Because I was like, all right, they're lighter, they're fun. I was going to ask you if he watched it with you.
Well, he took a nap while I watched it.
Fair. We get the like Lauren is like going up to people. Weird fun fact: the woman Vivian in this episode. Alastair, did you watch The Runaways? I feel like maybe you did. I did.
I think I started it. She did look familiar.
She was the mom of Nico, the witch girl in Runaways. Also, this is like such a random weird fact. Her sister was in a singing competition at Stonewall with my ex-boyfriend. So like and they look a lot alike, and they have Ishibashi is their last name, and it's like a very specific name. So I always just like I notice her in things, and I'm like, that's weird. I know her sister, and I'm sure her sister barely remembers who I am.
I kept on thinking she's so familiar that she must come back as a character later in Angel, but I don't actually think that's the truth. I think I was just recognizing her.
But for a like side character, you see her face a lot in the episode.
Yeah.
Like we go back to her. I like when they're like guns like, well, he better not put that mic in my face. And then when Lauren passes him, he's like, oh, okay. Like he's like all post the show, they go to the stage door. Lauren snubs them. I like that Angel's like, no, I know him. And Security's like, yeah.
Yeah, guy.
I will say this is very accurate as someone who has this kind of pseudo relationship with people who like watch you perform and they're like, oh, I absolutely know this human being, or they've watched you on TV and they're like, we know who you are. And they're like, no, you don't. You don't.
It is odd, I think, because you give so much of yourself, like in performance, or even like when Zach is doing his life, so people know a lot more about you than you know about them. Mm-hmm. And it's like a weird place to come from, I feel like, with people knowing more about you than you about them, and thinking that they know you.
Was gonna say all three of you have experience with that. Angela, I'm sure. I know the Big Brother fans get intense.
Yeah. they're dedicated. They're a dedicated bunch. And
actually crazy this year with the Big Brother.
Oh, wait, Angela, do you watch it when it's on? Angela?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna throw a finale party this year for the first time, and like I just was like, why not? I've been watching it.
Angel, what is it? So they get snubbed. We see Lorne going back to his room. This is where we learn that like the owner of the casino has him like trapped there. Because I was like, oh, don't punch Lorne. Like, he's a gentle soul. He's not into violence.
But also so ballsy of just a human just going up and punching a demon in the face. Like,
right? The demon with like devil horns. Like, yeah. We learned that, what is it? That like he's reading. There was like a part that I missed. So at the end, I was like, oh, that's what it is. That they're like, what is it? Stealing their destinies?
They're stealing their destinies and fates. So he's reading their fates when they sing with him. And then he's choosing the most lucrative fates to give to the manager, when they like bar guy. Yeah.
Is it like they use the chip and that like gets it?
Well, they all get invited to a special spin for money, whatever thing, and their fates are ingrained in the chips that they use.
Okay.
And that's how they take Angel's destiny. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Just by happenstance. They didn't even know. They were like, oh, yeah.
So if you go to Vegas,
that's a good one.
Angela, you said you were going to Vegas, and they try to invite you to a small room with just a chip.
Don't go.
Yeah. I will say, and I was looking up this episode online just to see what other people's reactions were. People were like, oh, we hated this like characterization of the event promoter and how like cartoonish he was. And I was like, no, this is actually so accurate. This is a real human being. They live like this. This is how they exist. They will hit you to get the information they need. They will kill somebody for just the smallest amount, and it is insane. So
they want your soul and your destiny. So they will get out of you.
We get a quick flash to Wesley. It's like I feel like it's such a weird, quick, filthy, like.
It's like they were trying to figure out where to put him in the episode. And I'm not sure if that was the right spot, but I mean, it was just him having phone sex with Lila.
That's
and it was hot. I was here for it. I was here for it. Apparently, the episode didn't run as long, and it was just Joss Whedon inserting it just to make the episode a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But specifically him, that tracks.
Yes.
So, yeah.
But I did enjoy the scene. I'm not going to say I didn't. I they do have a lot of chemistry, I think, Lila.
I like them together in their evil sexcapades. Like
even chemistry over the phone, I could feel the chemistry. Like, was it?
I was gonna say you still could, even though like we don't see her side of it.
She didn't even talk. It was just him.
They
Just
said,
him.
we're not paying you this episode.
Yeah. Just one-sided phone sex of Wesley telling her to take her underwear off.
There's nobody on the other side. He just
Yeah. And his guy in his crew is sitting right behind him when he's like, "What are you wearing? Take them off. You can leave. Anyway, getting back to you taking off your underwear."
he said, why are you still here? I was like, okay, bitch.
We go back to the casino. We see that this is when we see the chip. The Lornet girl brings Vivian the chip. She goes, whatever. And Angel's kind of watching it. And he approaches her and wants her to give a note. And
Which is nice because we never see Angel try to use his looks to get stuff done. And this was one of the first times I saw him kind of flirt to get his way. I think it's might be the first time I've seen him flirt to get his way.
Because I know that most of us, or maybe not you, Alastair. I know that Angela, you and I prefer Spike, but Angel doing this would still work on me though, right?
Yeah, I'll slip the note.
I just think it's funny that it's the same man who hasn't seen his reflection in 250 years, and he's like, it's fine. I'm sure it still looks like that.
Well, and then, I mean, he can take pictures, right? So
we do see pictures, even though it's not supposed to.
I wonder if he takes a Polaroid in the mornings. So it'll be okay.
Modern 2025 Angel, he's taking a selfie. He's like, okay, cool, we're here.
He always has his camera.
He's still hot
on his phone.
All right.
Doing his get ready with me or whatever.
I would watch those.
Because he does flirt a little bit. I feel like he flirts with Lindsay the most.
Well, yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's definitely chemistry there.
There was super chemistry there. There was more chemistry there than between him and any other actor, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I think of all the time when he's making out with Darla and she's like, "You'd rather it be Angel," and he's like, "What?" And it's yeah, Darla knows, she doesn't care. So we get that, and then I do like the goofy scene of Fred and Gunn at the table, and we learn that because Fred is so smart, she's counting cards, she's won all the chips, and when they're like, well, I feel bad for Angel, blah, 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 blah. And then we just see the guards grab him and take him away behind them and they don't notice. It's goofy.
And we just talked about how Fred and Gunn have no chemistry almost the entire time they're in a relationship together. And then in this episode, I'm like, okay, this is the one time I feel like it actually made sense for Gunn to be bad at poker and Fred's counting cards.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was the only time that I was like, oh no, that's cute. I like this for them. And then, everything else. But
because it always feels like Gunn's trying too hard in that relationship. And I think that's what gives me the ick.
I don't know. I mean, I do think Fred, this season they're letting her come into her own, which I really appreciate. But I think I don't know. They just didn't think out her and Gunn because it just, I don't know, never really works. But Xana, I do agree with you. There's been a few this season a little bit where I'm like, all right, maybe this is cute.
Well, I also think Fred might not have been ready for a relationship when she got in one, honestly.
I mean, that's also fair, right? Because she only technically has been back for a year and a half, I guess, right?
After living as a cow for so long,
yeah, I also might not want to date. I don't even want to date now, and I should be ready to date.
She first was really into Angel.
Yes,
and then with Gunn, and then I mean, she kind of she sampled around. She had a little. There's plenty of good-looking fellas in the.
Even later this season, when Willow comes, she gets a little oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, no, this is great.
Well, because Willow and her have chemistry. They actually did have chemistry on screen. And I would have preferred her and Willow than her and Kennedy. Than Willow and Kennedy.
Anybody but Kennedy.
Anybody but Kennedy.
Listen, we know I'm a Kennedy defender. I don't love her, but I'm a defender because...
You're a Kennedy apologist?
Yes. Because... if the world's about to end and this fucking hot young top is let's fuck, we're both hot. Sure, why not? Why would I be no? I loved Tara and I'd be yeah, let's fuck. You're right.
That's also all they felt like. It felt like which is fine. It felt like it didn't feel like something long term at all for
no, I would agree with that.
Willow and
just don't read the comics.
So we where are we?
We were just at the casino with Angel got taken by the guards and
right.
Fred
So
and Gunn were playing poker, and Cordy kind of pops in a little bit too there, but
this is where I'm unclear. Like, I don't know what she can and can't see. Like, is she only able to see like where Angel is, or can she see everything?
so she can see everything because later this episode she sees everybody about to die, and then she has to go help Angel win at the slots. So like she can see everything.
But then why? Because she's like, something is fishy, and I'm like, but if she can see everything, wouldn't she know
Maybe
what?
maybe she like hones in on
Yeah.
I think she hones in, like she has to focus on it, like kind of like when you're reading or something. You see the paper in front of you, but you don't really
But she's
know
a
what it
higher
means until you start
power.
reading.
Like
Yeah.
if she was like mid power, I'd be like, yeah, sure, she can only hone in on specific things. But that's what she's
Yeah, but
literally
if
up in the sky. She can see everything. There should be no
but
excuse.
I mean, if Jasmine is up there, there's other higher powers. I'm wondering if they have like their sector. Maybe her sector is like
She only
LA.
gets
She's
certain
a LA
channels.
higher power.
She doesn't have the expansion pack for
Yeah.
everything.
You have to pay extra for that pack. So yeah, she realizes something's off. He realizes something's off. He gets pulled outside and beaten by guards. Then he vamps out and kicks their asses. And I do like the bit of, well, this place was a lot nicer when it was run by the mafia.
Which is funny because, like in Mexico, if you go to places and you know the cartel is in those places, you want to go to the cartel run like hotels and stuff like that, because then you're not going to get in any trouble. If you're outside of that, you'll get in trouble, but they're not going to mess with their customers.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's always safer with the cartel. I will say that.
Yeah.
You can't trust these corporations. What I don't understand and what I think is kind of funny that like Angel has been around for so long. Yeah, he was dealing with his soul, whatever. Get over it. He had no stake in any financial process. He could have put money into anything. He knew the mob. He could have been getting money from them, and they're struggling to pay rent on this hotel. Like he's like begging people to let him save them so he can charge them money, but he spent the last 250 years not stealing and getting money from all these other places. That's confusing to me. He should have been rich at any given point.
Like compound that interest over time, you
Yes.
know. And I like how Interview with a Vampire does it with the art stuff. I'm not sure if y'all have seen that, but also I guess it kind of makes sense because he was in a huge depression for like 100 years or whatever.
He experienced the Depression and his own.
Yes.
He was there when the first stock was made. He could have done something.
He could have done something. He could have bought stocks in Yahoo or whatever was big back then. Yahoo was pretty big.
Honestly, that would be me. I would have been like, oh shit, I should have done this, and it's like 100 years later and I'm broke. And if I had just put money on,
I should have invested in the railways.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's now this old and he just started a small business. Like, come on.
My question is, we never see him receive the money that he won, the $300,000+. Did he get that?
No. No, he did not.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm.
Because they talk about it towards the end. Hey, maybe you're on your lucky streak, but they don't mention him actually receiving it or him not getting it. You know,
the thing I did read is that Fred winning is they don't talk about money troubles anymore, and it's supposed to be implied that Fred did win all that money and got them a bunch of money.
Yeah. I felt like they were too busy to go collect their winnings.
It did. Yeah, it really did.
And stuff was constantly happening to them.
Also awkward after they beat up everybody.
They'd be like, actually, hey, I need to collect after I kicked your ass. It'd probably be easier at that point. They'd be like, here, take it and leave.
He's not going to question it. He's just like, fine, take your fucking money.
And you know what? Cordelia would have loved a Vegas trip.
She really would have.
She
would have worn something really cute.
Yes.
She would have worn something really cute.
And thankfully, Fred was there because we got that with her. So
yes.
We did. I feel like we're getting off topic. I don't remember where we're at.
No, this is on topic. Everything's right.
Yeah. Angel then sees our girl Vivian, like, kind of like glassy-eyed, just like zombified walking in the street. He saves her from being hit by her car. And she kind of is like, yeah, I'm fine. I need to get more chips. So he realizes that's when he's like, oh yeah, there's some shit going on. The thing I really like about this episode is that, like, it's pretty straightforward, but like we still get like Angel has a plot and then Fred and Gunn are like separate. So it's like still mixing it up enough for me, at least, where I like that, like, then we cut to Fred and Gunn and they're kind of like devising their own plan to like get to Lorne. I like being able to like, we've moved the show somewhere, but we're still getting not just like one flat plot, even though this is like all part of the same.
It shows that they're like still independent from him, even though like
Yes.
they spent like all this time away from him. That they're like, oh yeah, like we do need him to like be the muscle, but we can still
Right.
devise the whole plan.
Yeah,
Yes.
we can do the recon.
Because
You
I
know.
feel like a lot of times in earlier seasons, if this had happened, we just wouldn't have seen Gunn and Fred much once they were like apart from Angel. So I'm glad that like the show's learning, we're an ensemble. We don't need to just always be Angel. Fred and Gunn, what I love that their plan is to put her in the makeup, like she puts on the exact outfit the Lornettes wear.
She looks so good.
She does.
She
She
looks
looks
so good.
So good.
But and I love it, and I love that happened. But also in my mind, I'm thinking, is this like a Joss Whedon thing where he's like, "Oh, this is my chance to put you in a skimpy outfit"?
The
Ah.
That was
I
what was in my
hate-
mind.
Hate
she looked
that that's
great.
always where my mind goes to.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I can look back and be like, oh, this is skeezy as hell. I hate this for them.
thing, yeah.
But it's like all about intention based. Like if the intention wasn't skeezy, but we
Right.
don't know the intention, so it makes us
He's a
assume the
man.
intention,
Unfortunately, it's always
Yeah.
going to be that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking, how the hell long did it take her to do that makeup?
They-
No wonder she missed spots on the bag because there's nobody else to do that
like,
for her.
to be fair, that wouldn't take very long. She just put green on her face, so she didn't restructure it or anything.
no contour, no cream.
I don't
I
know if
wonder
y'all
if there's any
noticed.
drag artists that have like done that
I'm sure.
exact.
With Alphaba right now being top
with
story,
Alphaba,
yes,
yeah.
everybody's green, and it's annoying.
Everybody's green now. This was the time for Lauren.
Yes.
The Lauren Renaissance for sure.
I don't know if y'all noticed, but the Lornette girl that Angel talks to kind of looks like Amy Acker.
Mhm.
Like she's got like her
Yeah.
cheeks and like I was like, I wonder if they like made sure they all kind of like were the same like body type and like face structure to be like that way she blends
Well,
in.
And it's also, you know, what's really funny about this one is her like trying to get in to the room, and then they're like, "Oh, you're there for what'd she say?
Hanky Panky.
Pre-show
Hanky-panky
diddle.
or
Diddle,
pre-show
that's
diddle.
Diddle, yeah.
And then when she comes in and Lauren tries to like hit her, it's very obvious that he doesn't have pre-show diddles with these girls. I feel
No,
like
give me a
maybe
break.
pre-show like Kiki's. I can see
Right.
him having pre-show Kiki's.
Right.
You know?
I put in my notes, straight people, they would think Lauren was trying to fuck with these girls, like just
Yeah.
because like that's the way they would view it. Because I've
But
definitely
also
like
very woke. Very woke. They didn't assume he was anything but straight.
True.
Hey, well, there's a win. We got a win here.
Their relationship is really cute. I like Lauren and Fred's like queer guy, straight girl, like that are like cool friends, right?
Yeah.
Kind of in the way, Angela, that we always say about like Margot and Elliot. Like this feels like these two actors maybe were friends.
There's actual behind the scenes shots of him putting her in the green makeup.
Yes.
Which is like so cute.
Aw.
I
So-
love that.
I want to see that. Well, I mean, everybody says such great things about Andy Hallett. There's
seems
never
like
like
everyone liked
horrible
him.
thing.
Yeah.
Everybody loved Andy Hallett.
Yeah. I feel like Andy Hallett also probably was a lot like Lauren, where kind of like how all the characters liked him, even when Angel's like not talking to the group and has fired them, he's still like cool with Lauren and goes to see Lauren.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could have been just Lauren being an elevated Andy Hallett kind of
Yeah.
character.
I could see that.
But my other thought is, do you think if Lauren had a show in 2025, it wouldn't be Laurinette's, it'd be the like a kind of a Magic Mike kind of thing?
Oh,
I would
a
like,
male review.
I would
Yeah.
like
On
that.
Tuesdays only.
Yeah.
Yeah, ladies' night. Yeah.
You'd have the Lornettes the other days, and then Tuesdays only, it'd be the Lauren Notes. I don't know how to make that math.
So he like kind of tells her everything that's going on. I really like how bad she is at lying when she gets like she screams, she runs out. She's like, oh, well, he was vomiting. He vomited his skeleton. Well, then he became a slug. Well, then he crawled down the we gotta get inside. And I love whenever Lauren has to put on his silly trench coat as a disguise, as if like his skin
Where
still
he
isn't bright
stands out a
green.
little bit more, actually, with the trench
Yeah.
coat and the hat.
It's very reminiscent of Scooby-Doo being on a plane.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? As someone who has to walk around in show costume or at least in face, we stand out like a sore thumb. I could be in the most pedestrian clothes and someone from across the street would be like, what the fuck is that? So there is no hiding.
Do you
And
also
as
put a
much as you
trench
try,
coat and a top hat on?
even with that, it would be worse somehow.
You know what it made me think of is in the Ninja Turtles movies that like from forever ago when they would put on those big trench coats and the hat and the glasses.
Yes.
And I remember as a kid even being like, but don't people see that those are turtle faces? What is it? They get like Lorne comes out in the trench coat. Gunn kind of grabs them, but the guards.
Is that the couple name Gorn?
I know, yeah. What is it? The owner's like watching on the security cameras, and then well, I'm
They
just like
run out into the casino and bump into Angel.
right. Right. And Gunn is like, you go do this. We're gonna go get the car. And Angel's just kind of like, yep.
Good
great,
luck.
Got it. Oh, right, because I skipped over, but it doesn't matter. The scene when he goes into the back room real quick and gets a chip and wins, and that's when he's like hooked.
We talked about it earlier. It's fine.
Yeah. Gunn, Lauren, and Fred pull up in the car. This is when
They run through.
Yes,
yeah,
they're
they run through Glitter Gulch.
And Lauren like fully explains about the destinies. Gunn realizes, oh shit, that's what's happening to Angel.
And Gunn was very confrontational with Lauren. I will say
was
that.
just about to say, and then Gunn like squares up with Lauren when he's like, you betrayed him, blah, 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 blah. But he does back down and say he's sorry once he like...
He does.
Also, that's like pretty brutal for the show when Lauren's like, yeah, last time I tried to do anything, they like shot a girl in the head in front of me. Like, yikes.
And they constantly threaten him with like, oh yeah, we'll kill another one of your girls. People he probably doesn't even know either. Like,
yes. So they pull up in the car. Gunn goes to get Angel, but everyone gets captured. We go to the like owner's security, whatever. And Xana, as you mentioned, we see Angel on the thing, and Cordelia's like, I gotta do something. So she makes him win. And what is it? They say he wins like millions and a car, I think.
It's like 300,000 and a car.
Yeah.
Like over 300K in a car.
Nice.
The spin to win was the $1 million chance.
Right.
To
okay,
win.
right. And they know that's not supposed to happen. So they're like,
what the hell?
Yeah.
They're like, there's a glitch in the machine that makes people win. It's not supposed to do that.
No one's supposed to win this shit. Yeah, so they go get Angel, and I do like, again, we do the gag of when he's like, I've been in this room before, it looks familiar. And his back and forth with the casino owner, I do get a kick out of it because Angel is hypnotized and is just being like, you gotta keep playing. But like, the casino owner thinks he's being shitty. And I kind of like that it like works for both. God, I'm like, oh, then they fight and they get the thing. I forget even...
Lauren breaks the crystal ball that's holding all the destinies and the futures, and they all kind of float back. Very, very Scooby-Doo esque as well. Very funny. And all the futures go back, and everybody. Did we notice that they were multiple colors of the futures and destinies though?
I did see that. Like Angels was like a
Was
bronze
red.
color.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There was like a yellow, blue, and I think a green. And I'm curious to like, what do y'all think that represented? Like, what kind of futures or destinies those were? Because Angels were red because obviously his destiny is to like to end the world. So like that tracks. But everybody else is just being like random colors. And like, what does that mean? What does that represent?
Maybe the flavor of their destiny, because they had like they said somebody's supposed to become a senator. You know, the Vivian is supposed to be a top chef.
Angela, what's your witchy reading?
So blue would be like creative energies. Purples would be like intuitions. Greens, finance. Orange, court. If there was like...
So that kind of tracks, I guess, with like the senator and like the chef and everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of creative, yeah.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
I feel like they infuse a lot of like actual witchy shit, you know, into Angel. They did to Buffy, so...
Yeah,
that's literally, I wasn't even joking when I said, what's your witchy read? So I feel like you always have a thing where you're like, yeah, no, that's like a thing. I forget the one episode we recorded when I was like, I like that they like incorporate this. And you were like, yeah, and that's what you do with witchcraft. And I was like, oh. Well,
It's nice that they just didn't come up with stuff. They're like, yeah, that's witchy. There's like, oh, just actually reference things that people do.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
So then they just kind of leave. We don't really like do anything with the casino boss, right? They just kind of leave.
They beat him up a little bit.
But yeah,
Yeah.
but like,
Rough him up.
I mean, he's not really brought to justice, and I think it's because he's human.
yeah,
Because if it was a demon, they'd just kill him. Like, and that's what I think is skewed with the Buffyverse is with evil humans, they always kind of like leave them be.
yeah,
But with demons, they take them out, and it's almost like demons are lesser people.
yeah.
How they treat them, even Angel, because he has a soul, because he's a special demon.
Right.
You know.
Angel does I think the nuance and the gray areas a little better than Buffy does.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get a kick out of when they're leaving and Angel's like, oh, I know where I was been in that room before. Priscilla and Elvis's wedding.
Peanut butter
They're like,
sandwiches.
It's like fried peanut butter sandwiches.
Yeah.
Which isn't actually accurate because I think they got married in like an actual hotel that wasn't the Tropicana
Oh.
or the casino. I forget the actual name of it. I don't think it exists anymore either. But like they were playing fast and loose with actual history, but it's fine.
That's fine, yeah. They arrive back at the hotel. Everyone's kind of recapping. Gunn's trying to be sexy with Fred. They walk in, and who do they find in the hotel, Angela?
Cordelia.
Um,
Standing there in a glowing white frock.
Like moo kind of.
what she ascended in, but she doesn't remember who they are. Dun dun dun.
And her bob got cuntier.
It did.
It's evil. It's evil Bob. That's how you know when a character's evil. Their Bob got sleek.
That's true. Yeah, because I like it. I don't mind it like in the season premiere where it's like a little bit like just like on the side. Like I think it looks cute like that. This is not.
It always comes back to Cordelia's hair. That's a real big bad of this season.
It really is. Because I feel like very quickly she gets the darker hair. Like I feel like only in a few episodes her like Bob gets darker.
That look. Yeah.
She probably has like a standing salon appointment that she's like, sorry, I've been away. I need you to fix this immediately.
So some trivia for this episode. This episode connects to the season premiere when Lauren mentions Fluffy. He says it's code for we didn't have a dog, I was in trouble. Fred and Gunn are gambling and Fred has the big blah, 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 like the big pile of chips, providing an explanation as to why Angel Investigation's financial problems appeared to be over following this episode. And that she had suggested she could count cards in Las Vegas in the episode Fredless. So that was like a thing she could do, which makes sense. She's like super genius smart, so sure. From this episode onward, Andy Hallett appears in every episode of Angel. Angel recalls... Oh, here we go. Xana, I forgot that I wrote this down as trivia. Angel recalls he was in the fictional Tropicana before Elvis and Priscilla's wedding. In reality, the couple had their 1967 wedding and reception at the Aladdin Hotel and Casino.
The Aladdin.
During the photo shoot, the first shot into Lauren's audience, the episode writer David Fury and script supervisor Petra Jorgensen are sitting in the front row, holding a miniature bobblehead of the producer Kelly Manners.
All right.
Did not notice.
They're in Vegas. Let them have fun.
Yeah. One of the scrolling banners in the Soul Trading Room reads, "Deal with Disney to run new ABC series." Co-creator David Greenwalt had left Angel earlier that year to produce Miracles on ABC. This joke went over my head. I didn't even get it. When Angel talks about how the dunes used to be there and Gunn says, oh, that closed 10 years ago, Gunn is talking about a hotel. Angel's talking about the literal
actual sand dune.
Yeah. All right. What do we think for our favorite outfit of the episode? I feel like we'll all probably there's like two that we're all going to pick. Xana, what was your favorite outfit?
It was Fred's asymmetrical like tube top that she wore to the show.
Okay.
Because I was like, Cordelia's not here, so Fred literally has to stand up and get that next cunty outfit on. So yeah, it was that one.
I was positive you were going to say her Lornette outfit.
No.
Alastair.
I mean, her Lornette outfit is my favorite. Even though I don't know the intention behind it. And I do think that if Cordelia had been here, her and Angel would have gotten married and
Ooh, yeah.
like in a drunken fugue or something like that. I think that would have been cool.
I would have liked that. Angela?
I do like the Lorna outfits. I like them on all of them, and I want one. And maybe after this, I'm gonna piece together a Halloween costume that only we would get. And
I liked Lauren's stage outfit, the gold with like the glitter stuff on
His
the
sequin
shoulders.
lapel, yeah, it was
Yeah,
great.
yeah, I liked it. What was your favorite scene, Alastair? This one is a little bit harder.
You know what? I would say Lauren's actual performance scene was my favorite, and I think it would have been really cool to be like an extra there as they were doing the whole big performance.
Yeah.
I would have paid for that.
Yeah.
Angela?
I was also gonna say the performance. I just thought it was so fun to see how they would piece that together. I love when they bring, the reality of this world into our reality, into something that we could actually see and participate. It just feels so interesting.
Yeah. Xana?
I think when Fred goes in to see Lauren and she does her fake acting for the security guards, I think that was probably like the most comedic relief that we get to have in that moment, even though it's like dealing with very serious things. So that's probably my favorite one.
She's good at playing awkward.
Yes, she very much is. So it was between Lauren's performance and Fred as the Lornette. So we're on the same wavelength.
Let's throw Wesley's little nonsense in there because
I wouldn't mind him.
Our time filler Wesley seed.
Yeah.
Good job, everybody.
You're like, actually, my favorite outfit was Lila's underwear.
That he had her take off. What grade do we give this episode, Angela?
I give it a B+. I like it, maybe even an A. I really like it a lot. I like this episode.
Xana?
It's an A for how the rest of the season goes. We need a positive one for this.
Alastair?
I will also do an A. I really enjoyed this episode.
All right. Yeah, I do. I give it a B+. I think it's really fun. And to your point, Xana, I think it's like, we needed some fun before we get into like the yeah, kind of like Buffy season 6, where it's like we get the musical and then it's all like very miserable.
But at least the musical was like almost halfway, where it's like it balanced itself. This is right in the beginning, and then the rest is just what it is. So
that is true. Yeah.
Well, now I will point out that we all gave it B+ as A's, but there was also a lack of Connor in the episode, except for the first scene, and I think that definitely affected the grade.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Connor sucks. Yeah. I like don't know that I've ever met anyone who like likes Connor.
It's funny because I do like the actor. I liked him in Mad Men and stuff.
Yeah, he's good.
But the character, oh god.
It's an odd character.
Yeah. And very one note.
Yes.
Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for listening. If you like Slayerfest 98, you can find us anywhere you get your podcasts, like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can watch our video recording because every episode is now a video recording on our YouTube channel. Feel free to subscribe. Please give us a good rating. It helps get the podcast out there. If you want to follow us on social, we are at SlayerFestX98. You can support us on Patreon, where we're going through every episode of Buffy Season 5 as it turns 25. Also, X-Men and Batman the Animated Series. If you want to find me on social, I am at ENXCarlos. Angela, where can everyone find you?
On Instagram, I'm Angela MFN Rockstar, and then my link tree will link you to all the other socials.
Xana, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Xana's Revenge and wherever else I'm on there.
And Alastair?
You can find me at Alastair J. Patton on all socials, and I also do a fantasy book club with AZB+.
All right, everybody, we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.